As we continue now on to the back straight. Apologies about that. Mike should be good there. But what a start it was for this race here. And Klaus saying his PC has crashed once again. That's very unfortunate for the driver from Denmark. But we continue on now. 30 minutes of racing, no cautions. And Andy Rees leads us off in this race. Klaus now getting back into the session. And there we see Roop Narine. Take a look at this. Roop Narine is hustling. But check out Van Doren. He's trying to get him on the background there. He's currently sitting in P5. Trying to hustle up. Roop Narine. Oh, hard on the defense. Just getting it there, and Van Doren trying all the stops to get past Ruben Ryan. This is a great race from the Canadian. Great drive from him. As we continue on now, Ruben Ryan defending onto the inside. Van Doren looking to the long way around. Can't get it done. Still looking around. Oliver in the background trying to push as well. Andy Rees fastest lap of the race. What a fight we have here in Van Doren, side by side with Ruben Ryan, and he gets the move done. Ruben Ryan down into 5th position. Can he get a move over here? Trying to look at it. Oh, contact! Ruben Ryan still hustling through. They're still door to door, but he can't get it done. Oliver trying to get the advantage. Hard racing from these guys. What a fight. As we continue on, Oliver now goes to the outside. Ooh, Ruben Ryan. All right, and you just watch the defend in there. They only allowed one move.
Very, very aggressive.
And Webster off the circuit. Rejoins back. Ruben Ryan has to know it's only one move he's allowed to do. Oh, big lock up there as they enter the gooseneck. And Andy Rees extending it now. 103.0. Osmond Wilson, 103.4. Caribbean Tracks giving very good competition, but rigorous defending. I will agree with you. Ruben Ryan, it's one of his first times he's ever been up in the pack. The racecraft is slowly building. You can see it in him. He's been racing for a while with us now. He's learned so much. But the defending is being actively watched by our stewards to make sure it's safe. But one thing's for sure, this is a great fight! Oh, it's contact! This Oliver tries to look onto the inside, cannot get it done! Loses out big time! Meanwhile, we look up here, Danny Nasir takes advantage of both drivers getting in that incident. And yeah, Oliver just sent it down the inside, nowhere to go, took himself out. Fair racing between them. Meanwhile, Ruben Ryan trying to get under the skin of Danny Nasir. Ruben Ryan relegated down to 6th position. Jamwest is going to be crazy indeed, man. We still have a round to look at here, but next week out, it is Jamwest season. But let's look back up to the leaders now. Apologies, the camera work is not the best for this mod here. So we are going to actively do our best to make sure we get all the action here, including using our drone camera to watch the battle from above. Marlon Young chases down his old rival. As Oliver getting the move now on Andrew Rupnarai. Wilson running off the track. Oh, what's going on here? As Oliver runs off the track again. Was it between Rupnarai? No, Rupnarai's far ahead. There must have been a mistake from him. Let's continue the battle here. Wilson versus Young. The championship leader versus the man who finished 3rd. Lexus versus Aston Martin. No sign of a BMW. Watching the battle from the sky here. Marlon Young trying to close that gap up. Oh, and a bit of a slow exit for Oswin Wilson. Here comes Marlon Young now. Can he throw it down the inside? We saw what happened between Blutch and Ruben Ryan does not. And continues the race here as they go down the quick left-hander. A quick right-hander onto the long right. Lock up there for Wilson. Marlon Young still trying to find a way past as they enter onto the main circuit. Once again, 23 minutes to go. Remember, folks, don't go anywhere. After this race, it's the Radical Caribbean Cup coming up. Do not go anywhere. This is the racing we're seeing here. Andy Rees continuing to extend that lead. It's a 102.530. That gap is extended now. Wilson doing a very good job of holding on to P2. We might see a lot of our fellow Jamaican drivers in the Radical Caribbean Cup coming up next. So don't go anywhere. I know a lot of drivers did their practice. But we continue racing on now. It will be crazy. You don't gotta worry. We are planning to re-upload the races after the stream. So you don't got to worry about that. If you're watching in the future, welcome to Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club. If this is your first rodeo around, make sure to hit that subscribe button. As we see an overtake here, Ruben Ryan running off track and from a dream start of P3 almost. He's been down to P7. Maybe even getting into some of this action. Taberner, you will be joining in on a great set of races. Jamwest, Wallerfield, Bushy Park coming up next to end this championship there. As Oliver and Ruben Ryan have met once again, and we can continue this battle between each other. This is an awesome fight between these two, I will say. Oh, Ruben Ryan, too much curb. 2 wheels off the track. And there you see that rear camera. Oliver slowly inching up ahead, trying to get the move, but cannot get it done this time around. On board, back on with Oliver. And Andrew now still fighting hard. Oliver trying to look for a way around. Last time he ducked it down to the inside, didn't work. Trying to move around the outside. Squeezing him is Ruben Ryan. Good defending from him. I will say it's all legal. He can switch to the inside if he wanted to. He goes to the fake. That's some entertaining racing. Even though it's for P7, these drivers are giving it their all. Oliver now trying to look for a move here as they now enter back onto the main circuit. As they enter back onto the back straight. Good run here for the BMW against the GTR. Andrew defending onto the inside. Oliver having going to the long way around. Gets cut off there. Door is shut down onto the gooseneck once again. Back onto the front straight. Cannot get it done. Just a whole rear end of that Nissan just in the way. But Oliver onto the inside now. Can he get the move finally done on Ruben Ryan as they enter into turn 1 now, side by side, door-to-door action. And he gets the move done. Oliver up in position. Oh, taps him out the way.
Andrew, come on. Oh,
all right, Ruben Ryan, you're going to have to let Oliver go through there. Let Oliver go through there. That's going to allow Webster to go through. And Ruben Ryan tapping Oliver. And that has allowed Webster to go through. I don't know if you saw it, but Webster was able to run through there. But Ruben Ryan, it's a little bit of the inexperience of fighting in the front pack there. But you gotta commend him. He's done a great job so far. Great fighting between them, but now we shift gears back up to this fight here. Marlon Young, Oswin Wilson. Continuing to fight on there. But we continue to watch this battle here. Oswin Wilson. P2. Marlon Young, P1. Oh, it's trouble. Oh, he makes a mistake on the curb. Marlon Young goes to P2. Oh, my goodness. That came out of nowhere. Wilson running on the curb, and that's allowed Marlon Young to go through. Wilson relegated down to third. Battle. Here we go. Battle commences. Game on. Civil war between these two. An unforced error, really. Oswin Wilson making a mistake, running on the curb, losing the rear end, and Marlon Young able to go through, sailing past. Wilson is going to be kicking himself, but I know he's going to be focusing hard to get this position back. We are going to be using the current SR3s. It's the 2023 editions of them. And that'll be the next race. As we watch here, Anderson Baiano, the Brazilian, getting past Ruben Ryan there for position. Meanwhile, Wilson still pushing. Wow, wow, wow. What a fight this has been. But 7 seconds up the road, it is this man who's had a great run, Andy Reese, continuing to do so with the final 18 minutes. Marlon still pushing on here. He cannot afford any mistakes. This is our closest battle we have on track. Let's stay on board with him. Oswin Wilson looking for a move. He's hunting. And Marlon a little bit wide there. Oswin Wilson hitting the apex. Able to go through just about. Still hunting, still looking for that position. As they're catching up to lap traffic, I believe that is Ruben Ryan just up the road. Yes, it is. 103.674 against a 103.607. Both drivers running almost identical lap times to one another. The top three very close. Or I shouldn't say second and third. Marlon Young shouting out to Andrew. Blue flags. Andrew sits in P10, but no drivers out the way. Ooh, he's actually run off the circuit. He has to let through Oswin Wilson. He does. He continues to push now. 16 minutes, 28 seconds and counting left to go here for this Grand Prix of Guyana. And this round 5 of the DTM World Championship, Wilson runs it sideways, gets it back going. That was a close one, but lost him so much time to Marlon Young. Aussie now 3.7 seconds off of P2, no fault of his own. He's got halfway of this race to go to pull a miracle to get back up to positions. Marlon Young is going to start his climb up to P1, Andy, as he laps Casper. I believe that is. I don't think that's Casper. That is a different BMW. That is Baiano. Both drivers running the same livery there. But now the gaps have opened up. There are no mandatory pit stops for these guys here, so it's just racing hard to the very end. So it's going to be full pushing, but not to mention these tires are going to go out. The tire wear is very important around here. But now 4 seconds, the gap has opened up between these two, between Wilson and Young. And you look at that map on the right-hand side of your screen, you see P1 already into turn 2, P2 entering turn 1, and as we were watching on board, Wilson, as he tries to claw back up this time, he sits in P3, down the order, 18 seconds behind, now crossing the line. It's Van Dorn, the Dutchman, trying to get some points. He missed out on the double points, very crucial to be in it, but unfortunately was not. And that's left him down a significant number in the championship. P5 for Danny Nasir. He's up the order right now in the points as well. P6, Casper, putting in a great result. This is going to be his personal best if he keeps it like this. P7, Martin Webster. He tries to hunt down Casper. Very experienced Martin Webster. P2 in the championship, trying to close up the gap and trying to extend the points lead for X-Play. Oliver Bloch now had a great fight with Ruben Ryan. A little bit scrappy here and there, but it's Oliver that won out the war out here as he is now sitting in P8. Anderson Baiano in his first race. Haven't seen him in quite a while. Welcome back, the Brazilian. He's sitting in P9. Ruben Ryan, a great start from him, but it really just went down south as this race continued on. He's in 10th. Klaus missed the start, unfortunately. He's a lap down. He's sitting in P11, but desperately trying to get some points on the board. Jarrell is now sitting in the pits. I don't know if he was in the pits this whole time, but he is in it for the time being. Very interesting. A little bit of a shame if he is out of this race. Would have been some great points for him. Meanwhile, Andy extending that gap now to 10 seconds. The Danish driver is doing very well to continue his lead. The race has calmed down just a bit. 14 concurrent viewers. Once again, thank you so much for tuning into Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club this evening. As Ruben Ryan brings out yellows over here on the gooseneck. Ooh. Flick spins it there. And gets it back going. Here comes Danny Nasir. Lap traffic, of course. Calls out Andrew's name.
Thank you.
Danny Nasir making clear communication to the lap traffic. That is the power of being all in a Discord voice channel and being able to communicate with one another. So he continues on. Remember, folks, don't go anywhere if you're watching on the YouTube side. After the stream is posted, thank you so much for tuning in to CMRSC. Directly after this race, we'll have the Radical Caribbean Cup. You do not want to go anywhere for that.
Blue flags.
As Anderson Baiano gets called out for lap traffic here into turn 1. Gets right out the way for him. And this race continues on. Oswin Wilson really needs these lap cars to give him a bit of trouble, and I think he's been on a good run here. Oswin Wilson, yes, check a look at the delta on his screen there. He was a 10th quicker on his personal best, and he's matching his time there, 2.9 seconds. Wilson is really pushing hard now. Oh, a little bit of a slide on the rear. Lap traffic once again now, this time for Wilson as he melts the curb. He's really pushing hard. Wilson is a great opportunity as we enter the last 11 minutes of this race. Next up, we have that 2-race spectacular Radical Caribbean Cup. As we head into the gooseneck on board with Oswin Wilson. This is the place where he lost it there, running over that curb. Unsettled the car. 104.1 for Marlin, 103.6 for Wilson that lap. And Oswin, lap traffic. Baiano gets right out the way. Respect. Oh, trouble for Marlon Young. He gets it wrong on the hairpin, and game on. Here we go. This was the moment Wilson was been waiting for. The unforced error from Marlon Young. Here we go. It's the fight is on. Marlon Young, Oswin Wilson. The gaps have closed up. One little mistake can cause you so much. Fight is on. Battle for P2. Folks, grab that bucket of popcorn. It's time to go racing once more. Jarrell Moore now retiring in the car. Whatever it was in pit lane could not get it fixed. Here we go. 106 against a 104. Under a second now. Oswin Wilson against Marlon Young, championship leader. Klaus entering pit road there. Not too sure why. But watching the race from above on the CMRSC drone, we are just under 10 minutes. 9 minutes exactly now. Heading into the quick right, following the left. The reason why DTM visited the Caribbean was because not too long ago, back in March, GT3 was passed to be allowed for racing in the Caribbean. It was raced in Wallerfield previously. It's still to be announced to be raced in South Dakota. DTM is a different step for CMRSC. This is the type of racing you'll be getting in the real life. But in the sim world, you're gonna get some action that's way better. That's the two best drivers in CMRSC. The most OG you can get from day one is fighting hard here. Oswin Wilson, 3/10. Trying to follow up. Still looking for a move. Into the hairpin. Look how close it is between the two. Wilson gets a better run. Onto the outside. Can he hold on to it? Pull the switchback of dreams. Tries for it, cannot get it done. Tries to put a nose in it. Still nothing. Into the right-hander, followed by the left. 20 laps completed for these drivers entering lap 21. Marlon Young looks very strong as they exit the FIA extension. And when they head into the gooseneck, it's really fair game between them. The left, the right. I should say the right, the left, and the double right. Gap is opened up once more. 104.128, 104.192, respectively, P2 and P3. Marlon Young, was that mistake? Oh! I say mistake, Wilson hitting the curb there a little too hard than he would have wanted to. Was that mistake from Marlon Young? Oh, man. It wasn't needed, that's for sure. And pressure's on it. Was that what Oswin needed? It definitely is, but now it's the time to get past Marlon Young. You want your P2 back? You lost it by yourself, Wilson. Get it back now. This is your last chance to do so. Push hard now. It's the only time you're going to be racing in South Dakota on these specific cars. You did the practice for the whole week. All for this moment here as you fight on for the podium. You finished third last time. Can you finish second here? Cross the line now. 104.3, 104.6. It's Young this time with the faster lap. The Aston Martin continuing to push on now. Still civil war between P2 and P3. Such a hard fight between these two. What a race this is turning out to be. Oh, very wide though. Goes Marlon Young. That was the ticket that Wilson needed. Here we go, side by side. Wilson has to back off. But Wilson still trying so hard. We're just waiting for the moment he just throws it down the inside. The momentum's just not there for him. Here we go. What's gonna happen here now as they enter through to the gooseneck? .104.7, 104.3. That was Wilson this time. In the one. Pretty identical. The curb on the outside. Losing a little bit of time, barely some time for Wilson as he runs over it into the hairpin. This is where Marlon is losing a boatload of time as you see Oswin just inching up just that bit more. Into the double right-hander. That is Marlon's strong suit. He's able to cut off any sort of over-unders. But this battle continues on.
Sorry, Andy.
I know it.
Thank you.
Lap traffic, you can hear it from the voice chats there. Gap is almost opened up there. 8 tenths. We're going to take a look. 104.0, 104.2. 2 tenths he's lost. In that last lap, we're under 5 minutes to go. For the Guyana Grand Prix in DTM, this 5th round of the championship. Gonna also score it against Marlon Youngkin. Marlon pull this defense off. There you see closing up now through the hairpin section. Oswin, though, winds it as wide as he can to try to get the better run onto this next short straight, but I am unable to get enough momentum to go through. And what a fight this has been. This is an incredible race between these two. Meanwhile, also, Martin Webster has finally closed up to Casper, as now we enter through the gooseneck now. Still gaps are closing up. Meanwhile, we watch this battle here. Ruben Ryan in the background, not for position, but Webster still fighting on. Fighting long and hard. Meanwhile, we look back here. There's so many battles to watch. Into the hairpin once again. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go. Tries to go long once again. Gets it turned in. Not enough. Just a reminder, there's no extra lap at the end of the race. So once the timer's up, the leader will be on that final lap. 1:03.9, 1:03.7. They're gonna have about 2 laps to go. Into the hairpin once again. Can he find a move, Wilson? Not yet. When is it gonna happen? When will Oswin send it? One mistake will cause it. Oswin looking to the inside. Won't work. Back on the main circuit. What a fight this has turned out to be. If you're enjoying this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button. What a fight. This should be it. The leader should be on the final lap. 104.2, 104.3. Meanwhile, Martin Webster having a whole fight of his own here as he tries to close up now. Still struggling to do so. And Ruben Ryan, trouble. He's on the outside. It's clear. Oswin Wilson knows this is desperation now. 35 seconds. Tries to get it. Oh, it's almost contact, but it's side by side. This may be the best chance Wilson has. He throws it down to the inside. Marlon's gonna have the inside now for the left-hander. They're gonna have one more lap to go. They're on the 2 to go now. Oswin Wilson, was that the best chance he had? Was that the last chance he had? Time is up. Leader is on the final lap. Leader is on the final lap. Oswin Wilson, desperation now. What does he do? What do you do if you're Oswin Wilson? Where do you plant the overtake? Where do you get it done? Webster bringing out yellow flags as well, but we continue this race on. Oswin Wilson, this is a chance. This is the only place he's able to get that car alongside. Trying to look for it. No, Marlon. Great defensive maneuver from him. Oswin, can he send it onto the inside? Cannot do so, but meanwhile, around the final corner, Andy Rees has done it. The Danish driver around the final corner. Andy Rees has done it. He wins the first round of CMRC in Guyana. Race win goes in for round 5. Meanwhile, Oswin Wilson, 1 corner to go. Can he get it done? I don't think so. Marlon Young has survived the barrage of attacks that Oswin Wilson has done. Marlon has done it. What a race. You hear the celebrations. He runs off the track in spectacular fashion. What a damn fight that was. My goodness, that is one of the best finishes I've ever seen in this one. In South Dakota, you couldn't get much sweeter. The championship leader extends its gap. He finishes 2nd. Van Doren, unable to challenge too hard to those fun drivers, especially wanted to fight with Marlon Young, but he's gonna come around the final corner. It's a great finish for him. P4 as he comes across the line. Danny Nasir not too far. P5, Van Doren saying not too much practice, but he'll take a top 5 there. Danny will take it as well. Casper across the line for a P6.
Oliver, I am so sorry for that. I didn't mean to wreck you those times. I was just trying to push really hard.
Oliver in P7.
My bad.
You hear Andrew apologizing there. Webster P8, Baiano 9th, Rupnarine 10th, but it is this man who's won here at South Dakota. All right, while we get interviews going, we're gonna load up the server now for the Radicals, so stay put for the interviews. Should be coming up now. What a race that was. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're actually gonna switch it on to the big screen. And what a race it was there. What a fight. That was incredible. Racing between them. We are going to end the session here. What a race. Thank you so much for tuning in to this DTM race. That was an amazing fight, and we hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your evening.